love our burgers, especially on game day. Whether we're tailgating in the parking lot or throwing a watch party at home for friends, we collectively eat nearly 50 billion burgers a year, enough for 3 a week for every single person in the United States. But how much do you know about our favorite game day dish? Hey everybody, welcome to our newest segment, Cook Your Tail Off, Farm to Fan. Today we're here at Walbridge Farm in Millbrook, New York to show you how that delicious, tasty game day burger gets from this farm to your plate. Located roughly 2 hours north of New York City, Walbridge Farm is a sustainable, registered Black Angus farm in Millbrook, New York, a rural community in the heart of the Hudson Valley. Farmer Doug Giles is owner and operator of Walbridge Farm and raises his cattle on a grass-fed diet finished with non-GMO grain.
They're like the seed of the corn plant, okay?
Meet Doug Giles.
So my name's Doug Giles, and I am the 7th generation to make my living doing this in the state of New York. 15 years ago, the man who owned this farm, which has had Angus cattle on it since the 40s, he called me up and wanted to know if I would come and manage his farm for him. Going to work for an 80-year-old man may not have been my smartest business decision, but I did it anyway. 2 years later, he passed away, and that fall I made a deal with his daughter because she did not want to inherit this. She's out west. That we bought the cattle and the equipment, and I leased the farm from the family to this day. We have our registered Angus cattle that we sell as seed stock to all over the country. I think we have cattle right now that we've sold into 28 different states right now. So my goal is to hit all 50 before I'm done. We finish all of our own steers for a market. We opened a retail market in here about 8 years ago. We also have a couple of wholesale accounts. We have a home delivery company in Westchester that does about a whole steer every month.
Doug represents a movement of cattle farmers who produce safe, nutritious beef while balancing environmental stewardship, social responsibility, and economic viability. And Walbridge, Doug's farm, is also one of the 91% of all beef farms and ranches in the United States that is family owned. Here, Doug describes how his beef is raised and then harvested for our burger consumption.
The calves are born here. They're raised with the cows on grass. They're separated, they're fed separately. The females are separated off to be returned as replacement females for the cow herd. The males, we keep about the top 15% to stay as bulls to be used in a breeding program, either here or somewhere else. The rest of them are castrated and then they're called steers. Those are what we feed for our beef market. We have an agreement with a slaughterhouse in Massachusetts. All of our cattle go there to be harvested. The reason we picked the slaughterhouse, it's a family operation. They had their whole design, their whole infrastructure was laid out by Dr. Temple Grandin. She actually in the beginning, she would run herself through the handling facilities that she was designed, and if it was comfortable for her, then it was comfortable for cattle. That's how this whole thing kind of started. So she is the United States expert really on cattle handling, humane handling, all the way through the life cycle.
So now we know how our favorite game day dish gets to us, the fans. And as it turns out, that burger of ours can actually be a nutritious choice. Meet the Director of Nutritional Education for the New York Beef Council, Cindy Chan Phillips. So we're here at Walbridge Farm. We're here to learn about not just how beef gets from the farm to our plates game day, but also to understand the nutrition aspects of it, because that's important. So you are a nutritionist. Tell me about, we're specifically focusing on burgers. What is something that we as a group of consumers who are also sports fans who love to eat should know?
Well, first of all beef cuts, whether it is whole piece of steak or ground beef, all provides the 10 vital nutrients for us to thrive. Just to mention a few, a high quality protein, iron to carry oxygen to our brain and muscles, and zinc to boost our immune system, and not to mention the multiple vitamin Bs. All beef provides 10 vital nutrients for average calorie of about 154. Now the portion size is about 3 ounces cooked. So let's say if you take a burger, I would recommend to keep in mind 3 things. Maybe start with 93%. The reason I say that is 93% is considered lean. Lean stands for less than 10 grams of fat per 3 ounce cooked serving size.
Wow.
Just that 3 ounce of serving size provides all the nutrients that I talked about, and also 25 grams of protein. It's almost half of what we need in a day for most people. So that's a very highly nutritious, high quality protein.
So basically, there is a misconception that burgers are unhealthy because, I mean, I suppose if you're putting tons of cheese and other things like bacon and stuff, then it starts to...
Isn't it true for all food? There's a good way to
Sure.
enjoy it, right? There is a
Sure.
indulgent way to eat it.
Sure.
Because beef is naturally flavorful, so you really don't need a lot of extra seasoning, a little salt, a little pepper.
Sure.
So start with portion size, about 3 ounces the size of palm, exactly, maybe maybe somewhere between your palm and my palm. And then the second trifecta is start with whole grain buns. The whole grain and 93%. Now 93%, a higher percentage, the higher the leanness in the beef. Right. So you start with a trifecta of whole grain buns,
Yes. That sounds
lean
good.
ground beef, 3 ounce portion size, and also layer a lot of fresh veggies.
So when you think about that plate that you remember seeing in like 4th grade when you were learning about nutrition,
My
that
plate.
said, like my plate, right?
Yes, yeah.
The whole grain is your starch. You've got all the veggies for your greens, your produce, and then you've got this really great 25 grams of protein patty.
Right.
It's actually lean protein, which you don't usually associate with meat.
That's
But
right.
it's totally possible.
Right. I also want to add one advice on food safety.
Sure.
For ground beef, when you bring it home, try to use it or freeze it after no more than 2 days. For a piece of steak, you can keep it for 3 days. So when you cook, make sure the internal temperature reaches 160 degrees.
There you go.
So
160 degrees. Get yourself a little meat thermometer, bring it to your game day, event, tailgate, home gate, stick it into the inside of the patties before you serve them. 160 degrees.
160, safe and savory.
Okay. And now, does that translate to like medium rare or?
There will be medium well. Yes.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I would not recommend consumers to go for medium rare for hamburgers.
Okay. But when you cook it that much, you're not depleting the nutrients?
No, it does not. It just makes it so much safer.
So we have a delicious game day dish that's also healthy, and she's a nutritionist, and she said so it is true. And it's also always fun.
Always fun.
So you get everything you need. You have your trifecta, we have ours. Healthy, delicious, and fun.
There you go. Yay!
Well, there you go. From farm to fan. Just like that. Enjoy your burgers, enjoy game day, and stay hungry, fans. On the next Cook Your Tail Off, we're joined by international chef and best-selling author Dan Churchill to show us how to make a delicious and healthy game day burger.